I think this is good. I think this is pretty good. I'm fidgeting. Hi, YouTube, my little hippies. That's what I call my music group. If you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, I call y'all my little hippies. So you might hear that a lot. Anyway, hi, my little hippies. I'm Tia Mustafa, and I am going to tell y'all a paranormal experience. It is probably like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I took a very long time getting dressed because I really did not want to do this, because in my head I feel like nobody cares. But I'm into a lot of things, and one of those things is the paranormal. You can ask my fiance and my friends, so you know I'm a real person. You can ask my fiance and my friends. I probably talk about paranormal stuff and spirituality too much, but yeah. So what happened was, I was going to record a song today, but in my mind I promised myself, I didn't promise you guys because I didn't want to make a false promise, but I promised myself that this channel was going to be more than just music. It was going to be an inside look of my craziness. So it would be music, it would be fashion, paranormal stories, and stuff like that. But I was just going to like gradually start to upload these things, and then y'all like, oh, she's doing more than just music. But then I started to feel like insecure. You know how people feel? We feel insecure about things like, you know, what if I don't have enough stories to share, paranormal stories, or what if people don't believe in that? What if people don't want to watch that? But I like watching paranormal stories. It makes me feel like I'm not the only person who deals with crazy stuff. So I just kind of want to incorporate my true life onto this channel. I mean, not to sound corny, I'm not trying to be like, oh, you guys are my entire life, because I have 69 subscribers, so I ain't there yet. But I did not want to share a story. I didn't know how I was going to approach it, because the things that have happened to me in my life from a child up until today are crazy. And crazy in the sense that when you say them out loud and you look at the people's reaction, they're like, okay, like obviously she makes things up. But they're crazy enough that I keep telling people these things. It's like, this really did happen. So I didn't know how to bring about my first paranormal story to this channel until last night. A few things to note. I am in love with paranormal things, the ghosties, the ghouls, all that other stuff. I'm like a fan fanatic, but also I take it very seriously because of the things that have happened to me in my life. So I take things with a grain of salt as well. It's like, I'm a skeptic, but I'm a believer at the same time. I don't sit there and say, oh, that had to be a ghost. So with that being said, this past week, these past weeks, I have been watching an enormous amount of like horror films and ghost detective things and stuff like that. And a lot of times, if you believe in these things, on one hand, you can say you make yourself paranoid and things aren't what they seem. But if you indulge yourself into something, you become that something. So on one hand, you can say that. On the other hand, you could say, if you are in that spirituality realm, that when you're messing with this stuff and you are engulfed, especially in paranormal things, then you heighten that energy, and that energy becomes your reality. So I'm like on the fence in between those. Like, half of this is paranoia, the other half is like, I think that I'm inviting something into my life that I didn't ask for. I just wanted to watch spooky stuff, and here we are. So with that being said, I have been watching a lot of spooky stuff online. movies and YouTube channels. I would literally like wake up in the morning, make a cup of coffee, and sit in front of the stove, because I like to warm up my feet with the stove. I'm a country girl, and watch Kyla on YouTube. So, and she's like a paranormal YouTuber. I love her to death. Anyway, so with that being said, a lot of the stuff may be in my head, but this particular incident scared the holy living crap out of me. But in a weird way, I was also calm. Okay, I'll just get into the story. So last night, I went to bed roughly earlier than I usually do. I'm usually going to sleep at what they would call the witch's hour, like 3 a.m. because I'm just like watching TV and looking up hair tutorials and nutritional facts and foods. But last night I went to sleep at like, I want to say 10. Me and my fiance both went to sleep at like 10. He usually goes to sleep early anyway, and I'm a night owl. But so I don't particularly remember the first half of my dream. I just remember this specific incident. At this point in the dream, me and my fiance, who is Andrew, and also my bandmate, we went to the community college that's down the road from our house to look for someone or something. We were looking for, I don't know exactly what we were looking for, but we left to go look for this person or this something. I will note that in real life, not in a dream, he can attest for this. Finally, usually I have encounters and he's like, okay, maybe it was this, but we both witnessed this in real life. We were at that college. It was me, him, and a couple of our friends, and we were sitting in the hallway, and it's like there's a main hallway, and then there's like places you can turn. I'm not really good with giving directions or a description. And then there are like little turns to go down individual hallways where classrooms are. So with that, we were looking down one of those hallways, and I noticed something, but I didn't say anything because I'm usually noticing things and whatnot, and then people are like, oh, you're crazy. But what I noticed was it looked like a shadow of a person, like a little person, not a little person, but like a little shadow. It looked like the shadow walked across the hallway. It's like when you're looking down the hallway, then there's another main hallway type of thing. So we're sitting here, and there's a hallway, and then there's another main hallway that goes that way, if that makes sense. And from where I was standing, or where we were sitting, I saw a shadow basically walk past that hallway. And I saw it quite a few times. So then, the night goes on, and Andrew mentions that he saw that, and I was like, bruh, like I saw it and I didn't want to say anything. So in that particular college, we have seen some strange things. Now, going back to my dream. So we had gone to the college in my dream to look for something or someone. And in my dream, I had the knowledge of our real life encounter with seeing the shadows. So I was kind of paranoid because it was nighttime, and I was like, I don't want to be here long. Like, I kind of feel uneasy. So Andrew thought it would be funny to start taunting whatever was in the air, because I'm freaking out. And so he was like, is there anybody here? Are there any ghosties here? Come out and say something. So he's being silly, and obviously nothing's happening, but I'm still freaking out. Like, I'm having this feeling of whoever we're coming to look for, we can just go. Like, we don't see them. So we were standing in the hallway, and he was like holding me from behind, like all romantic like and everything, but he's still taunting whatever was in the air. And then all of a sudden, my body locks up like this while he's holding me, but my arms like lock up like this, and my head starts to like shake back and forth. And so I'm like freaking out because I'm fully aware of what's happening, but I have no control over my body. And all of a sudden, this is funny, you're gonna see how big of a nerd I am. So I don't curse, but this is what I said in my dream. As I was going through this motion, I yelled out, "You feed the effing dog." And so after that, like, I kind of shook out of it, but I was like hyperventilating, like, yo, what just happened, what just happened? And I'm freaking out, and Andrew's not saying anything. And then all of a sudden it happens again, but it gets worse. And like, so my head is like jolting back and forth, and I'm like gargling, trying not to swallow my tongue as my hands are locked like this. And I'm like freaking out and hyperventilating. And all of it, like, there was a moment where I said to myself, I need him to wake me up. I need him to wake me up. And then I'm waking up. My eyes are like still kind of rolling in the back of my head as I'm coming to. But as I'm coming to in real life, now it's not a dream. My body is locked up and I'm shaking back and forth, like trying to grasp for air because I'm swallowing my tongue. And then it was over. And the weird part about it was my heart wasn't racing. I wasn't in a sweat. I was scared and I was sad. But when I finally came to and I like opened my eyes and my body unlocked itself, I kind of looked around and then I cuddled up next to Andrew because I was like, I don't know what that was. But in my head, I was thinking, bro, people call me dramatic if they want, but I was like, bro, did I just have a seizure? Like, I don't know what just happened to me, to where it transpired over to real life, to where I'm waking up and I'm like convulsing and shaking back and forth and I can't breathe because I'm swallowing my tongue. So I was like, am I having a seizure? So it was weird. After that, I don't really remember what I did last night. I feel like I got up and maybe cut on the light and then went to go pee. Like, it was just like it never happened, but then it did happen. Like, my body wasn't worn out from whatever my dream was doing to me. Like, I wasn't nauseous or had a headache or anything. It was like my body felt like it never happened. Like, once I was there and then I wasn't. It's like, yeah, I got up to go pee and then I cut the light off and I turned to face Andrew, but then I just felt like something was on my back. Like, I was just so paranoid. I don't even quite remember falling asleep, like back to sleep. But I did. I don't know, but it was weird. People would call that lucid dreams, where you are able to control your reality and understand that you are in a dream world and it's not real life. But it's just weird. I've never had a lucid dream that was a nightmare. I don't know if I was in the dream being possessed by something, or if I had sleep paralysis or a seizure. Like, it scared me. It wasn't like, oh, this was a ghost and I'm terrified of ghosts. At that moment last night when I woke up and my body had finished convulsing, I was like, bro, I might have just had a seizure and I'm kind of afraid to go back to sleep. Like, I don't know that much about seizures. I don't know that much about stuff like that. Like, I don't want to die in my sleep. It was just, yeah, that was my experience last night. Another reason why I didn't sit down to tell these stories, like I said, on one hand, if you indulge yourself into the paranormal realm, you become paranoid. We all know that. You watch horror films and stuff, and then all of a sudden you think the ghost is in your house. Like, that's normal. But on the other hand, when you're a sensitive being, when you have that sixth sense anyway, you enact an energy around you, because there's energy all around us. So you enact these energies around you that are feeding off of your vulnerability to opening your eye to it. So it's like you're sitting there and you're watching this paranormal stuff and listening about this paranormal stuff and learning about it. So you're inviting that energy around you to say, hey, we're actually here, and if you're that interested, let's hang out, type of thing. So with that being said, a lot of weird stuff has been happening these past couple of weeks. So that's it for today. I don't really know how to close out of this. I feel like once I start getting into a routine of recording, maybe I'll have like a theme song or something. Maybe I'll be legit. I don't know. But yeah. Bye.